What's up guys, Gary here for GenVFX. Welcome to my new tutorial. Oddly, the last few tutorials have had this very much a kind of like, Gary must be doing a lot more with rigging because he's talking about things to do with rigging all the time. And that's absolutely true. I have in the past always done all of my character stuff or rigging or anything like that inside of Maya. And then bringing that across to Blender has always been for me a bit of a worry because it's like, I know how to do it here. I think I know how it'll work here. It should be the same as here. But is it? Well, in most cases, it's exactly the same, which goes to prove that software agnosticism, i.e. understanding the processes of how to do things like a reverse foot and an IK-FK arm, you know, they are the same no matter what software. But there's always little things in the software which are kind of a little stumbler or something that just stops you from doing what you normally do. And the biggest thing for me was how to get a file actually from sitting somewhere as a reference that you can edit and bringing it in and making everything work. So I found out recently how to unlock a static object. So it acts like an old style reference like this. So I can edit anything, edit the joints, edit the character, sort of like weight the whole thing here, and then it would just work here. But I had a problem with some of my controllers because they weren't there, or when they were there, they just were grayed out. They're unusable. But I fixed it, and I found out why, and I found out that it was all my fault. So I'm going to show you why it is all my fault, but also why it's also brilliant. So I'm going to shut up now and just get on with it, and I'll speak to you in a bit. Okay, so here we are in Blender with a character which I've been rigging recently and learning more about rigging, which has been fantastic. I've been doing it for years in Maya, but obviously it's something I've been trying to not avoid, but just trying to find the best time to get to it, and it has been quite recently the time. So I've got here on his left arm, I've got a little controller there which is for the inverse kinematics, which as you can see is doing nothing because it's currently set to the forward kinematics. So I'm just going to bring these down, so bring this arm down, take this arm up here, let's just shift this up, let's just change that from global to local so we get a proper local axis. There you go. So we've got this hand up there like this, and then if I click on the IK handle, you'll see in the properties panel here I've got a little controller which will allows me to go between the IK and the FK, so I've set it up for FK and IK, which is great, and I have to say was actually simpler, a little bit simpler than in Maya, but pretty much, I mean, you know, negligible. Very, very similar systems, very similar setups. So I've got this switch, this little thing moving up and down here like this, and if I just go into my bone, which is where I've got this set up, you can see the custom property down here in the bottom right hand corner here says FK-IK switch, and it's set to 0. There you go, and it's just everything in there's okay, or is it? We'll come back to it. So the idea is that I can link this file into a scene. Okay, so let's just say for him, I'll leave his arm down there like that, and I'm going to create a new scene, new general scene, and I want to link in this file as I would do if I was creating something not using the asset browser. I'm just going to use the simple way of going link. And then let's go into my project. So let's go projects and go to drivers unlock. You'll see in the Blender, I'll go to ref, click on testbot, go link. What do you want to link? I want to link the collection, which is called ref lilbot, because that is its actual name. Not ref lilbot, but lilbot. And as you can see here now, here it comes in, and you can't see any texturing. I mean, maybe if you put them on texture where you see the textures, we might. There you go. There you go. And then there's all this stuff which is all inside of this one really nice little collection. So what we need to do is we go right over here to where I have ref lilbot in the scene, and I'm going to go down here to library override. I'm going to go make, and because of where this exists, if I let me just make this a little wider so it works, so it looks like it's working normally. And I'll go there, and I'll go library override, make, selected, and content. And then if I pick my rig, I can then go down here to pose mode. And if I press N on my keyboard to bring up all my things, I've got my IK switch on my right arm. There you go. That's if I rotate the arm like this, and just here like this, down here. If I do my IK, FK switch, that's going because I did something to that one I didn't do to this one. So if I pick this one, you can see that it has no activity. The reason it has no activity is because the library on that is not set up to be overridable. By that, what do I mean by that? Well, basically what I mean is that this is an unlockable variable, and that should be automatic. You should just do that. Should be able to just do that. So this is now basically an asset that I can use, but I can't use that because that's locked. That one's actually locked. If I just click on it, there we go. So you can see I can do loads of things to it. I can rotate and I can move this all around, but unfortunately I can't control the FKIK from my little property switch, because this is something that's created. I've created this. Anything that's set up in standard, when you unlock it, the library override just works. So we want to make that so that is actually overridable. Now the way to do that, I'm going to go back here. Let's just save this. Let's save this as in the anim file. Let's say this is robot 01, and let's open up testbot. And there it is, just there and simple. And if we can see, it looks exactly the same scene as the other one. It's not. This is actually the one that we built him in. So you can see if I do this, I can move the FK switch. Yeah. So what we need to do is go down to this bottom right hand corner of the selected object, which in this instance, by the way, rigs, interestingly enough, control points on the rigs, they're not little controllers that you attach to the bones. Oh no, they're the bones. But they've got a custom shape. You make it a little shape and you make it a custom shape, so you can then use that and put that instead of the bone, and it means you can easily see all your controllers, change the color of them and everything. It's absolutely brilliant. Love it. So go back here to my FKIK switch. You can see it's there because it's actually on the bone. So I select the bone in here. Down the bottom, that's where my custom property was built. I click on the little gear to the side. I'll move this up so you can see. So it's called FKIK switch. It's got a default value of 1. It's got a min value of 1, a max of 1. The step is 3, and that's like a speed thing for when you're moving things. And then down here underneath the plain data subtype, you can see library overridable, and that by default is not flagged. So if ever you make any properties and you're going to be using them as animatable assets, you need to click on that. You then go OK. That's all fine. So I now go File, Save, and let's go back to our robot 001, which has got our linked file. Got this linked file in it. And now, look at that. You can actually see there that now that is now unlocked. And that is the joy, because it just means that now I can do anything with this rig. I can take this, I can take the foot and I can go, right, okay, up you come. And there's like, you know, rotate this, ooh, crikey. And rotate that there and then push this forwards. And all these things, they're all just inside of our little asset-y file. And it just means that, you know, anything in here, I can use this in any single shot. And anything I do, everything that I create now in the link object, that just will always update in all your shots. So don't worry if you do find this issue where you've got a link and you've made a property and you're like, hey, it's not moving. It's just because you haven't gone to the property and you haven't done this in there. I think that's one of the best things. One of the best things. I love it. I love it loads. I like it a lot. Okay, I'm going to go now. Because again, as per usual, I've probably spoken too much for too long. But yeah, look after yourselves. Take care. And I will speak to you in the next one.